The rain was merciless that night, a relentless downpour drowning the city in darkness. Emily stood on the sidewalk, her world crumbling around her. Her ex-fiancé, Lucas, had tossed her out of their home, her suitcase now soaking beside her. Pregnant and alone, she had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. As thunder roared above, she clutched her belly, whispering a promise to her unborn child that she would find a way. Then, out of the shadows, a voice called to her. "You look like you need help." She turned to see a man in tattered clothes, his face hidden beneath a hood. He looked as broken as she felt, but there was a strange kindness in his eyes. "Come with me," he said. Little did she know, the man who appeared like a beggar was hiding a secret that would change her life forever. Let's start story. But I request you to subscribe my channel, please. Emily had always been a fighter. Born to a middle-class family, she had worked hard to build a life for herself. Meeting Lucas Hargrove had seemed like destiny. Handsome, wealthy, and charming, he had swept her off her feet. But Lucas's love had come with conditions. He demanded perfection, and when Emily revealed she was pregnant, and that the baby wasn't his true colors showed. "You think I'll raise another man's child?" he sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "Get out of my house, and don't come back." Emily had begged him to reconsider, but his mind was made up. The door slammed in her face, and with it, any hope she had of a future with him. That's how she found herself wandering the streets that fateful night. She was soaked to the bone and trembling when Caleb appeared. At first, she hesitated. He looked homeless, his clothes ragged and his shoes barely holding together. But desperation pushed her to follow him. Caleb led her to a small, dingy apartment in a rundown part of the city. The walls were cracked and the furniture was sparse, but it was warm and dry. He handed her a towel and a cup of tea, his hands rough but gentle. "Why are you helping me?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Caleb shrugged. "Because someone once helped me when I was at my lowest. We all need a hand sometimes." Emily stayed that night, and the next, and the next. Caleb never pried into her past, but he offered her quiet support as she tried to piece her life back together. She learned bits and pieces about him. He had been homeless for years, drifting from place to place after losing his family in a tragic accident. Despite his circumstances, he had a sharp mind and a kind heart. One evening, as they shared a simple meal of soup and bread, Emily blurted out, "Caleb, I need to ask you something." He looked up from his bowl, curious. "Will you marry me?" she said, her words rushing out in a single breath. Caleb froze, his spoon halfway to his mouth. "What?" "I know it sounds crazy," she continued, her cheeks flushing. "But I need stability for my baby. I need someone who can be there for us. You've been more of a friend to me than anyone else has. And I trust you." For a long moment, Caleb said nothing. Then, he nodded. "All right, Emily, let's do it." Their wedding was a modest affair, held in a small courthouse with only the judge and a clerk as witnesses. Emily couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness as she remembered the lavish ceremony she had once planned with Lucas. But when Caleb slipped a simple silver ring onto her finger, she felt something she hadn't felt in months: hope. Over time, their bond grew stronger. Caleb proved to be an incredible partner, supporting Emily through the challenges of pregnancy and beyond. When baby Noah was born, Caleb held him in his arms with tears in his eyes. "He's perfect," he whispered. Emily watched them together, her heart swelling with gratitude. For the first time, she felt like she had a real family. But even as their happiness grew, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that Caleb was hiding something. He often disappeared for hours at a time, and when she asked where he had been, he would give vague answers. Then, one day while cleaning their apartment, she discovered a briefcase hidden under the bed. Inside were documents bearing Caleb's full name, Caleb Prescott. To her shock, the papers revealed that he was the heir to Prescott Industries, one of the largest corporations in the country. There were photos of him in expensive suits, standing beside prominent figures in business and politics. Emily confronted Caleb that evening, her heart racing. Who are you, really? She demanded, holding up the documents. Caleb sighed, running a hand through his hair. I was going to tell you, he said, but I needed you to see me for who I am, not for what I have. He explained that he had walked away from his family's fortune after a falling out with his father. He had wanted to live a life of his own, away from the pressures and expectations that came with wealth. Meeting Emily had been a turning point for him. You're the first person who's ever cared about me for me, he said, not for my name or my money. Emily's anger melted away as she listened to his story. She realized that Caleb's humility and kindness were what had drawn her to him in the first place. With Caleb's secret out in the open, their lives changed dramatically. He reconnected with his family and reclaimed his position as CEO of Prescott Industries. Emily found herself thrust into a world of luxury and privilege, but she never forgot the struggles that had brought them together. Lucas, meanwhile, returned, begging for another chance. I made a mistake, he pleaded. I was wrong to let you go. But Emily stood firm. You abandoned me when I needed you most. Caleb was there for me when no one else was. He's my family now. Lucas left, defeated, and Emily felt a sense of closure. She had found her true partner in Caleb, and nothing could tear them apart. Years later, Emily and Caleb sat on the porch of their sprawling estate, watching Noah and his little sister Grace play in the yard. Their journey had been anything but conventional, but it had brought them a love that was deep and enduring. Do you ever think about how far we've come? Emily asked, leaning her head on Caleb's shoulder. He smiled, wrapping an arm around her. Every day, and I wouldn't change a thing. The rain began to fall softly, a reminder of the night they first met. But this time, it felt like a blessing, not a curse. Together, they had weathered the storm, and their love had only grown stronger.